I've spent over 226 hours surviving on the island in the forest. I've explored every cave, bunker, hidden corner. I've built shelters, hunted, I've set traps, and I've narrowly escaped mutants and cannibals. Then came Sons of the Forest. Over 138 hours into that, and I can say it's a worthy sequel. It's a thrilling expansion of the story and the game that deserves far more attention than it gets. This isn't a review. It's a journey through survival, story, and mysteries that connect two islands, two generations of mutants, and a chain of artifacts that defy life and death itself. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, or if it's your first time here, well, yeah, welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. My name is Andrew. Normally, we don't look at video game content on this channel. I talk about like cryptids and ghosts, ghouls, goblins, stuff like that. You know, real life, whatever you want to believe. But you know, I've been playing a lot of Sons of the Forest lately with some friends of mine, and the game, it's a horror survival. It fits in with what we talk about here. There's mutants. It's very horror based, which, you know, a lot of the cryptids and ghosts and stuff that we talked about are kind of horror based. So I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a dive into it here. We're going to discuss the stories. We're gonna go over some theories about stuff that happens in the games, and hopefully, you know, if you're a gamer like I am, and you have Sons of the Forest, and maybe you put it down because you're like, oh, you know, you watch some YouTubers that were putting it down, and you're like, yeah, you know, I don't know if I'm going to play it anymore. Or, you know, if you just want to pick it up for your first time, maybe, you know, we can kind of convince you that it's a good game to play. It got a hard rap early on. Number one, because of nostalgia from the first game. Number two, people overhyped it in their heads before the game even came out. And number three, the devs released it in early access. People expected a AAA game in early access, and they did not get a AAA game. There were some bugs and stuff going around. A lot of bigger YouTubers were kind of complaining about it and stuff like that, and it kind of put people off. But the game released last February 2024, so last year, and it's just kind of sat. You know, some people made videos on it after the 1.0 release came out, and that was it. You know, just kind of died. The original Forest actually has a bigger, more active player base on Steam than the sequel Sons of the Forest. And Sons of the Forest, in my opinion, is light years better than the original Forest in terms of like graphics, gameplay, mechanics, even story. So let's get into this. If you like what we do here, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what kind of horror survival games you're into. Let me know if you like this kind of content for this channel. If not, I might move it. Anyways, we're going to get into it and hop right into the story of the first game. The story begins with Eric LeBlanc, a survival television actor, and his son Timmy aboard a plane that crashes on a remote, heavily forested island.
Please return to your seats and keep your seatbelts fastened. Flight attendants and cabin crew, please.
Eric regains consciousness to find Timmy kidnapped by a man covered in red paint. As Eric searches for his son, he discovers the island is inhabited by feral, cannibalistic people and mutants, and is forced to defend himself while surviving on the land. Eric uncovers that Sahara Therapeutics, a pharmaceutical company, had been conducting experiments on the island. They were studying an artifact known as the Resurrection Obelisk, created by a mysterious group called the Ancient Ones. The obelisk has the power to resurrect the dead, but requires a child sacrifice. Dr. Matthew Cross, a chief researcher at the facility, had lost his daughter Megan to an escaped mutant and resorted to using the obelisk, kidnapping Timmy as a sacrifice to revive Megan. Eric discovers a second artifact known as the Power Obelisk, which functions as an EMP device capable of bringing down planes when activated. He is faced with an impossible choice. Activate the artifact, causing a plane to crash and potentially finding a sacrifice to revive Timmy, or shut it down, sparing the lives of everyone on the plane at the cost of Timmy remaining dead. If Eric reactivates the artifact, time will pass. 1 year later, Eric and Timmy are invited to the talk show. During the show, Timmy suddenly collapses and begins violently shaking, seemingly about to mutate like Megan did. Megan being Cross's daughter. Eric comforts Timmy, and he returns to normal.
My next guest is a TV star, author, and real-life plane crash survivor. Here to talk to us about his new book, Rescued, along with his son, Timmy. Please, give it up for Eric LeBlanc. Nice to meet you, man. That's one hell of a story. So let's jump right into it. You've written a harrowing tale of survival and adventure with a plane crash. Look, you can see it on the cover. I feel like you're really blurring the lines here between fact and fiction. Oh, is that the axe? Hey, do y'all want a demonstration? Okay, we've got a setup right over here. Come on, don't leave me hanging. Come on, everyone. All of you want to see this too, right? What do you say? Well, come on, everyone. let's head on over. Watch your step now. I got my axe. Where do you hold this thing? Oh, like this? Here we go. Huh? Is he okay?
Years later, an older Timmy is shown in his apartment, looking at a map called Site 2, while struggling to suppress his mutations. So that's the basic synopsis of the game. That's not everything. There's a lot of clues that go into it. I left it pretty open. That way, if you haven't played the game, I'm not really spoiling anything for you. Go play it. It's a fun game still. I still play it occasionally. I would play it more if I still had my VR headset because I just love VR games more than regular PC. But now let's get in to Site 2. Many years later, after the events of the forest, a team of private military contractors hired by Puff Corp is dispatched to an island called Site 2 to search for Edward Puffton, Puff Corp's founder and CEO, his wife Barbara, and their 20-year-old daughter Virginia, who has been missing for several months. We play Jack Holt. He is a renowned journalist and personal friend of Edward, who accompanies the team. The team's helicopters are shot down by an unknown assailant. Jack survives the crash, but is knocked out by a man in a silver coat named Jianyu Zhang, a former Puff Corp employee now working for Sahara Therapeutics.
Blasting over some 500 feet below ground. 7 months ago. You're not going to find anyone alive down there.
invited you here.
Jack awakens with another surviving teammate named Kelvin, who is rendered deaf and mentally handicapped by the crash. Working together, Jack and Kelvin set up a camp and obtain resources to survive the island, defending themselves from cannibal tribes and underground mutants. They discover that Puff Corp acquired the island under the guise of turning it into a resort, but was secretly competing with Sahara Therapeutics over control of an artifact known as the Cube. The Cube, composed of a rare golden ore named Solafite, has medicinal properties and the ability to manipulate dimensions and time. Jack eventually finds surveillance footage showing the resort's guests were suddenly transformed into mutants at a dinner party. Edward and Barbara Puffton were among them, and he is forced to end them when he finds them. Jack also encounters Eric and then adult Timmy LeBlanc, the famed survivors of Site 1 incidents, who have come in search of the Cube to cure Timmy of his uncontrollable mutation.
It's not safe here. You're running out of time. It's gonna happen again. You have to leave.
Get down, son!
Little mutant Timmy, all grown up.
After being separated from their pair during a standoff with Jian-Yu, Jack learns that the Cube activates every 8 lunar cycles, and the only safe haven is inside the Cube itself. At the VIP bunker, Jack reunites with Timmy, and they make their way underground towards the Cube.
Something's happening. It's working. Stay close.
They manage to get inside just before it closes, locking Jian-Yu outside.
It's time. No, 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 no! 15, 14, 13, 12.
When the Cube activates, Timmy has a seizure and briefly splits into multiple versions of himself before the Cube shows them a version of a futuristic alien city.
I've seen this before. I saw it in a dream.
The Cube deactivates, resets the timer, and reopens to show Jian Yu has mutated into a gigantic monster.
This was supposed to fix me. It's making me worse.
Jack and Timmy return to the surface to see helicopters arriving, but are forced to fight Jian Yu. After defeating him, an artifact found by the player will strip Jack of his backpack, attempting to lure him back towards it.
What did you see? What did you see? What was in the cube? What was in the cube?
Several endings are now possible. Ending 1, Jack stays behind on the island while the LeBlancs leave. Ending 2, Jack boards the helicopter, leaving the island with the LeBlancs. In the epilogue, Timmy discovers another island rich in Solafite. And ending 3, Kelvin and Virginia survive, join Jack inside the cube, and then board the helicopter. Virginia is cured of her mutations, and Kelvin remains mentally damaged but becomes close friends with Jack.
Dad! You made it. You're okay. Oh God, they're coming. They're getting closer. We have to leave. Quick, get in. Don't go near it. Don't. It's drawing you back in. They're getting closer. We have to leave now. Get in! I need you to help me. It's getting worse. Look at me. Look at what I'm turning into. I need your help.
I've told you I can't help you.
And what about with this?
Solafite. Where did you get this?
connection between the Forest and Sons of the Forest is established through characters' mutations and the artifacts. Timmy LeBlanc, at the end of the Forest, and older Timmy, investigates Site 2 while suppressing his mutations. Eric LeBlanc. Eric's decision at the end of the Forest shapes Timmy's future and his involvement on Site 2. And then here we have the theory section. This is stuff that's not really spelled out in either game. It's just kind of stuff that I kind of stumbled across, or revelations that I had personally regarding some of this stuff. So one of my most compelling theories is that the cannibals present on Site 2 were once employed by Sahara Therapeutics or Puff Corp. Exposure to radiation from the cube caused their gradual mutation into hostile beings seen throughout the games. This theory explains why the cannibals appear above ground and in underground bunkers, suggests that proximity to the artifacts rather than pre-existing behavior drove the transformation. So what we're saying here is that the closer the people were to the cube, i.e. like in underground bunkers or in the Hell Cave itself, the more drastic the mutations were. We saw that with Jian Yu being right outside the cube, right? That was a massive monster. Or the Master Demon, or the big demon that's out there right outside the cube. The further away we get, like in the banquet hall, we now have the Puffies, the Puffins themselves being prime examples of the Puffies. We have the RMZ. We have the Slugman, whatever the Slugman name is. We've got the big Spot, I think it's called. There's John 2.0 or the Worm, and then the Twins. Those were all people that were in underground bunkers or in the caves or closer in presence to the cube itself when it activated. I'm suggesting that the cannibals, being above ground, were less affected by the radiation and then for just turned into cannibals. They just had their minds corrupted and were turned into cannibals. We can kind of see this in Virginia. She was close enough to be kind of mutated a little bit, with her third arm and third leg now being present, but she was also far enough away that it didn't mess her up the rest of the way. So it's kind of based on that. The obelisk from the first game, I theorize that the obelisk on Site 1 may also be made of Solafite, the rare golden ore later introduced in Sons of the Forest. But due to developmental timing, the obelisk appears black in the forest rather than gold. But its properties do align with how Solafite acts. They just do, how it reacts and mutates and brings things back and stuff like that. So the two are linked, in my opinion, because they are both Solafite. They do kind of link them a little bit through emails in the first game, along with the power obelisk in the ceiling of the control room that brings down planes. That does kind of the artifact, your handheld artifact in Sons of the Forest does kind of act that way as well when you go to teleport. Geography of the islands. Both islands are off the west coast of Canada. They are Canadian islands. There would not be cannibals there because they're on the west coast of Canada. They're not isolated. Anybody could really get there. We would have known if there was cannibals there in the real life. The first island, I want to say Site 1. There's some, it's not really explained where all those come from. The mutants were definitely the science projects of Sahara, but some people say that there were missionaries in the early 1900s that found the island, found the key, or found the obelisks, and then slowly became cannibals, and their descendants are the ones that are on the island now. I don't know about that. I kind of feel the same way about Site 1 as I do about Site 2, that they were just there. They were just employees of this place that were transformed. I have no basis for that. I also have not seen any evidence to suggest that they were there beforehand, so it's a toss-up, really. And then the role of Solafite, obviously, we know that Solafite's a healing metal. Obviously, the third game, hopefully, is going to be about us going to another island to find Timmy, whatever our player character is. So, and then here at the end of the video, we have my personal anecdotes, really. During my time on Site 2, I encountered numerous challenges and mysteries. One particularly harrowing experience was navigating the underground bunkers, where I faced not only mutants, but also the psychological toll of isolation and fear. The discovery of the cube and its implications left me questioning the very nature of reality and the ethical boundaries of experimentation. I can still remember the first time I played Sons of the Forest. I was a mod on one of the biggest Forest groups on Facebook. I had a couple mod friends. I remember my friend, his name on Steam is Cannibal Lechner. I remember we both got the game as soon as it hit Steam, and we both hopped right into it. And we got the beginning where we spawned on the beach by the rebreather cave. And you know, like following our GPS, we went up to where the shotgun was. We were both immediately downed, and like the gravesite where the shotgun is, where I was downed. He came to the cap to rescue me. We got out, but then as soon as we got out, he was downed, so I went to go rescue him, and we got kind of locked into a loop where we were both like laughing hysterically, but at the same time furiously trying to get away from all of these cannibals and stuff. That was some of the most fun I've ever had. I never had fun like that in the forest itself, because you would always, you know, whenever you got caught by the cannibals, you would always end up in a cave, right? You could easily just get away, climb back up the rope, and get back on your way. But here, we were dropped right into a camp that was full of cannibals, and we couldn't just grab our stuff and get right away. We were having to fight our way back out with like no health. So it was fun. It was challenging. It's the way that the game should have been, really. Sons of the Forest building system is superior to the Forest in my opinion. I haven't used mods or anything like that, and I can build exactly what I want. So, the building, number one. I think, for me personally, the building is far superior. Like, yeah, you can build houses, and you can build prefabs and stuff like that, but the custom building is really where Sons of the Forest comes alive, because you can just add and subtract logs whenever you want, right? Custom building. You want to start a new structure? Cool. Got you. There, see, we've already got the start of a foundation. You don't even have to build a foundation like that. You could build upwards. Or you could build over. And it just snaps. It's so easy. Before, all the building was done off of blueprints, and it was not very enjoyable to me. I would screw up a lot and just have to completely destroy the blueprint, or I would just have to live with the mistakes. Whereas with this, you don't really have to deal with it. You can just pull up the log that, you know, is busted. Or we got this right here. You can't build big suspension bridges like this in the original Forest. And the whole reason I built this was just to have an easier time getting golf carts around. But it ended up being something that I really enjoyed doing. Like, yeah, we've got power all the way through it. We got this here that I couldn't get rid of, but I don't really care that I can't get rid of it either. It's not hurting anything. There's plenty of room on either side for golf carts to get around. You couldn't build stuff like that in the Forest. You couldn't have big multi-story buildings because of the way their custom building was. Or at least stuff that flowed. You could have multi-story buildings, because like you could snap a floor on top of a wall, but if your snaps weren't 100% correct, you would end up kind of wonky, kind of clips that would peek through walls, or like you wouldn't have complete, or for long floor runs, the floor would get all bumpy and throw you up into the air for no reason. And even something as simple as the zip lines are better, because before you would have to build 2 zip lines just to go back and forth, whereas here you only need the 1. I don't know, to me, Sons of the Forest is just superior. The only thing I missed from the Forest would be the happy birthday traps. But if you throw enough fly swatter traps out there, you basically have a happy birthday trap. We got the Night 5 traps now. We got the helicopter blade traps, whatever they're called. I don't know. I think people need to give Sons of the Forest another chance, honestly. The cooking system also, in my opinion, is a massive improvement. The protein drink recipe is one of my favorite additions because it boosts your strength and helps you when chopping down trees and carrying logs and building. You gain strength easier, your level goes up quicker. And this also helps by increasing melee damage. That single mechanic ties survival tasks together in a way that feels rewarding. The addition of firearms feels natural in Sons of the Forest since you'll port over an expedition in modern times. The shotgun was nerfed a bit too hard for my opinion. In the beginning, it would be like one shot killed literally everything, and then it got nerfed and it was 2 shots. And now you have to spend like eight rounds to take down an armsy. It's been nerfed a little bit too hard because it is a shotgun, but it is what it is. Giving Virginia a shotgun and a 9mm turns her into an absolute tank, and you lose one of the strongest weapons, but the trade-off makes combat more intense. And you still have the crossbow, you still have the recurve bow, you still have the revolver. I'm not sure what revolver it is. It uses 9mm ammo in the game. I can't think of any revolver that uses 9mm ammo, but I assume it's supposed to be more powerful than the other 9mm. Traps are a highlight. The helicopter trap and the night V trap, I forget what that one's called, are resource hungry but devastating when complete. The fly swatter trap feels like a modernized happy birthday trap. It's a bit smaller, but it has the same feel as the happy birthday trap. And while the bone maker works, I still prefer the classic method of burning them on the campfire. The grind of building is cut down by trees dropping more logs. Kelvin is a game changer as well. He can build, reset traps, gather arrows, fish endlessly. You can also task him with finding arrows. You can task him with gathering materials as well. Pair him with Virginia and suddenly you have a functioning team instead of surviving solo. 3D printing was also a brilliant addition. You need arrows or a flask, you can print them. This system adds modern ingenuity to survival horror. Between protein mixes, water flasks, and energy drinks, MREs, cereal boxes, turtle eggs, all the meat you can find around the map, and ramen noodles, there are countless ways to keep your character alive. Travel across the massive island is easier than ever. Golf carts, the Night V, and the hang glider shrink the map dramatically. The hang glider can be stowed, making it one of the most useful tools in the game. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten away from overwhelming cannibal encounters by pulling out the hang glider and jumping off a rock placement or dropping off the side of the map over a beach. There's been too many times to count that's been a thing. The hang glider is also the best way to get wherever you're going in the game, but the hang glider also takes a little bit of time to get used to. So you have the golf cart, which can seat 4 people. It's got GPS built into the dash on the golf cart, so you can always kind of see where you're going while you're looking at the trails. The golf cart is also fairly defensive because if you hit cannibals with it, you will absolutely take the cannibals out. It's a little bit slower, yes, but it will climb mountains. Is that where she was trying to get up?
Yep, exactly where.
Yep. There's a way back up there.
Oh, here we go. Oh, damn. Oh, we're flipping.
Where the fuck even are they? I don't know where I'm at right now. Jesus, that was quick.
That's where I landed.
Holy shit.
I thought we were gonna fall in slow-mo. To our right.
Everything was spinning for like a second, and then we were there.
I know.
It's like magic.
Welcome.
It will climb almost 90 degrees vertically. It's insane what the golf cart can do. If you want something a little bit faster, you can trade the golf cart's defenses for the Night V. It's faster, yes, but you're more out in the open, you're more susceptible to attack, so it's a trade, really. Building bases shines with the addition of solar panels, batteries, and light bulbs. Lighting your place properly also adds function and atmosphere, turning camps into fortresses. Finally, most of the negativity surrounding the game came from early access impressions, when the devs were still patching and adding features. The finished game is far more polished and feature-rich than the criticism suggests. Sons of the Forest is more than a sequel. It continues a dark, horrifying narrative stretching from Site 1 to Site 2. Megan Cross, Timmy, Jack, and the Cube weave together survival horror, mutant evolution, and corporate malfeasance into a gripping tale. Despite a smaller active player base, it offers deep exploration, storytelling, and survival mechanics that make it a must-play. The Forest calls, the mutants wait, and the Cube's legacy endures. So go pick up the game, pick up the first game, go play some multiplayer, hop into it, just have fun. Sons of the Forest got a bad rap early on due to streamers and YouTubers just complaining endlessly about bugs and glitches and stuff like that, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was also overhyped by the community itself, who wanted a AAA game when the developers themselves are not AAA. Night are incredible developers. I love what they were able to do, but they are not AAA. So nostalgia for the first game also plays a big part of why Sons of the Forest did not do so well. The Forest itself has a much bigger active player base still than Sons of the Forest does, which I don't blame it. The Forest is a good game, but Sons of the Forest is everything the Forest could have been and more, in my opinion. But anyways, guys, that's just my opinion on these things. Take it for whatever you want. I have been Andrew. Thank you for sticking around throughout this video. If you like it, like, subscribe. Let me know down below what you thought. Let me know what your favorite survival horror games are. And maybe we can do another video if this video does good. Anyways, if you want to support the channel, hit up the merch bar down below, pick up some dope merch. You can also support the channel more directly by hitting up the PayPal link in the bio or in the description of this video. Anyways, guys, I've been Andrew, and I will catch you next time.